Hello everyone. Today I will be showing you how to write and execute a MapReduce code, and this is part of our assignment for big data engineering, which is in University of South Florida, Boomer College of Business. And the problem statement for this assignment is that there's an election going on in a country called Utopia, and you can find all the details in this GitHub repository. And the country of Utopia is going through an election, and these are the five candidates. Our responsibility is to count the votes for each candidate and uh, declare who won the elections. So yeah, so these are the input. So the input file is something that we have to create by ourselves. So here I created two files, booth1.txt, booth2.txt, which is, if I open it, it's like the names of those candidates, but I just copy and pasted randomly to get a count. The same goes to like the second txt file, which is, if opens, you can see the names are repeated. Uh, Basically, each line presents one vote towards this candidate. So yeah, so our job is to count the number of candidates, or the occurrences of number of candidates, how many votes they got from these two files. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder here just to group the inputs. So like input data, and I'll just copy these two. I don't know why my PC is lagging, but yeah, I'll just cut these two into this folder. And yeah, so one important thing, uh, when you start your Docker container, so it the files should be accessible in your Docker local file or local system. So uh, here's how we proceed. So from the local system, we'll put it to the Docker file system, and from the Docker file system, we'll put the data to HDFS. So this is how the process goes. So how do we put data from local system to Docker file system? So or the local file system in Docker. So one way to do is, if you go to the Docker image, and if you go to bind mounts for the particular instance or the container, you would see that this is the location where I should be keeping my files, so that I can access these files in my Docker. So if you see, this is the location where I have copied all my files. And if I go to the terminal now, if I go to the terminal, let's say, uh, now the location is, so the location can be accessed here, home Cloudera student. So if I go to ls, uh, ls home, sorry, home Cloudera student. So you can see that these files, exact same files, are present, can now be accessed in Docker. This is the Docker terminal, by the way. So we can access these files in the Docker. So if I create another file here, it will appear here. Okay, so let me go walk you through the files. Then we have a mapper file. So the mapper file is responsible for mapping each line of text. And this is a program. Basically, we are taking, so it's checking for the input file, which we will be mentioning in uh, shell scripting, the shell script file. So we are basically stripping the words, or we're stripping the line. Then we are doing, like, bringing it to lowercase, and we are splitting the line, and it's stored in words as an array or a list. So we are iterating through all the elements in the array, and if the length of the word is 0, it's giving unknown, or if it is present there, we're just giving the word and one. So um, what this does is, for every name, let's say the name is ABC. If it sees ABC, it will go write ABC and one. If it sees ABC again, it would not do ABC and two. It will still do ABC and one, because the aggregation will be done in the reducer program, which I will show you. This is a reducer program. So the reducer program is somewhat similar to, not like we are doing some operations basically. So what this is doing here is we are reading the output line, line by line, and we are making some transformation like splitting word and count by this tab, and we are just counting the number of occurrences of each word and just aggregating it. This is the reducer program. So, and this is a shell script. So this is what's responsible for running the program. We are calling Hadoop here. Hadoop is running the program, and we are just giving all these commands in the shell script. You just have to give the files as mapper and reducer, whatever the names are. And input file is an input directory, which is not a file, which is a directory. So we'll have multiple files, and instead of giving one file, I just give a directory, so that MapReduce will go through each and every file and calculate based on it. And the output is in this directory, mapper and reducer. These are the names of the mapper and reducer files. So now we have these data, and now we can access this in Docker. Now the next step is we should bring these files to HDFS. So if it's in Docker, now we have to bring it to HDFS. So one way you can do it is you can use the Hue browser, which is like very user friendly, but like, hey, let's do it in the Linux way. Uh, so let's check the HDFS. Let's list all the files in the HDFS directory where we are planning to store the data. So any HDFS command starts with HDFS DFS. So it is necessary to provide HDFS DFS so that the terminal recognizes a HDFS command. So let's list all the items in where the destination we are intending to store these files. So HDFS DFS -ls. It's in, if I remember correctly, it's in user Cloudera. I hope this is the right place where we're storing it. Yes, this is where we're storing it. So we see there are already some files created here. So that's fine. So we just have to copy these files from Docker to, not this one, sorry, not this one. These files to the HDFS file system, or HDFS location. So you can do HDFS DFS hyphen copy from local, because the local is currently the Docker. Local is the Docker storage. So copy from local, we're copying mapper.py, reducer.py, run map reduce job.shell, and we want to where do we want to store it? We want to store it in user Cloudera, and mapper.py, no such file or directory. Okay. Oh, let me check the present working directory. Oh, so we have to switch to this location. So it's like, cd /home /Cloudera /student. And now if we try to run our command, it should run now. Let's see if it's present there. Let's just run this command and let's store the files in the Cloudera, in the HDFS. Yeah, we can see these are There. The only thing we are missing is the input data. So let's copy the input data as well. So here, let's say hdfs dfs hyphen copy hyphen r for recursive, and we are copying input data. We're copying it to user Cloudera. User Cloudera. And yeah, let's just run this command. Legal option. Okay. Um, for some reason it's not. It is not copying. So let me just pause it. So yeah, you just had to use the copy command here. So I used the cp command. Only I had to do was like hdfs dfs hyphen copy from local uh, input data, which is a directory, and the location. Now if you see, if you run this, the input directory is now present here. Okay, so now we have all the files necessary here. Now we can, one thing we have to make sure is we have to give necessary permission for the user to run the shell script. So we are gonna modify permissions to 755, and we will do it on run map reduce job.sh, and now we can run the shell script, which is reduce job.sh. Now, oh, we have a command failed because input path does not exist, which is user Cloudera input directory. Oh, so okay, I see what's going on here. So we have given a wrong uh, directory path. So we're going to do cat run reduce job. So if you see, we gave a wrong path, and here the path is input data, so we have to edit it. So what we can do is let's do vi run map reduce job search. Then we have to insert the data. So if we come, we have to give this as input data and escape colon wq. Now if we cat it should be good. Yeah, it's good. It's the same location. Now we have to also modify it in the hdfs, and so we're gonna go hdfs yes hyphen I don't know if there's vi for but let me do one thing. So we can do is hdfs dfs hyphen remove. We are removing user Cloudera slash run, what was the shell script name again? Run map reduce job.sh. If we do this, we have deleted it. Now we can copy the updated one, which is in the Docker, which is in the local file system. We can copy it to hdfs. So hdfs dfs hyphen copy from local run map reduce job.sh to user and Cloudera. User Cloudera. Now this should be copied, and we can just check if we want. So we can just check if the file is present, and the file is definitely present, and yeah, it was modified very recently. So yeah, now we can try running /run reduce job.sh. Now let's try running it. Okay, so it's working now. We can track the job here if we want, but we'll just wait for the program to execute completely. Now some of you may face uh, an issue, like fail to connect to the resource manager or something like that. In that case, what you have to do is you can just go and restart the Docker and try running it again. It should work in the most cases. So that's what I did. I did face that problem, and I was able to solve it using just restarting the Docker container. Now the output is present. Now it's in user Cloudera output 01. So we can do is hdfs dfs -ls. We go to user Cloudera output 01. Let's see what files do we have here. And we have two files. One is a success file, which is uh, like a flag that okay, uh, the MapReduce program succeeded, and this is the file we are interested in. So we can open this. So you can do hdfs dfs -cat user Cloudera output 01 slash part 00000. Now let's try opening this. And once we open this, we should have the result. So you see, we have the result. So we have the count of all the votes received by each participant or each person who was in the election, and we can see Jaja was the one with the highest votes. He had 20 votes, and the rest of them are here. So yeah, that's how you run a MapReduce code and using Python and using Cloudera. And yeah, that's it for today. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.